Welcome to Hop on the Mic. I'm your host Josh, and I'm here with my co-hosts Christian and Kilmer. Today we're going to be talking about immigration, so let's just get straight into it. What is immigration?
For those that don't know, immigration refers to the international movement of people from one destination to the other.
Okay. And so, why do people immigrate? Like, what's the reason?
Because they might be escaping poverty, war, to get a better education, and to just benefit their overall generations to come.
Right, yeah. Immigrants are motivated for various reasons, especially here to the United States. You know, the United States also offers an easy access to resources, also offers the opportunity for an economic prospect, and it also allows them to improve their standard of living.
Well, why do they immigrate to the U.S. though? I mean, what do we have to offer that other places don't?
In the U.S. in particular, like for generations now, America has like this American dream that Americans live by this, and that it's like America is a beautiful place to live, it's the best place to live, and that they want to like portray itself that people want to move here, and that's what other people have kind of captured, and that's why they want to immigrate here. And also they might be escaping like bad areas like gangs and all that, so, and they also could get a better job here in the US, so it just kind of helps out.
As I mentioned, you know, I had the opportunity to live here in the United States and also in El Salvador, where I was born and pretty much raised until I was 12. Here, if you want to buy some groceries, you have the opportunity to just, you know, grab your keys, call a taxi or whatever, and you'll be at the store within 7 to 10 minutes. Over there, if you want to do that, you have to travel at least about an hour to most of the places to go and buy simple stuff such as, you know, toilet paper and stuff like that.
Yeah, they might come to the US just for the simple thing of just being so much easier to do things, because in other countries you might not be fortunate enough to have a car, you might not be close enough to transportation, you might have to walk miles just to get to where you want, so they benefit in that way.
Right. Also, the most important part, but it's probably the economic standing of this nation. So over there, you do jobs, you get paid about $10 an hour. Over here, you have the opportunity to work. You know, here the minimum wage is $7, but you're only gonna get paid $7 if you're working as a bagger at a grocery store. Other than that, most jobs they will at least pay you 10 and above.
Do you think, considering that immigrants come here and it's a large variety, do you think that these people are taking jobs that otherwise wouldn't be offered?
I think that the immigrants taking American jobs is a little bit of a lie, because they're taking the jobs that the American workers aren't taking, and they're like most likely the lower paying jobs, the harder jobs to work, and a lot of Americans don't want to work those jobs. So I think that it's a little bit of a lie when people say that, oh, immigrants coming here, they're taking our jobs, the jobs that our American workers need. So
I recently did a lot of research about this topic, and that was one of the concerns that I had. And, you know, I wanted to find a lot of information about it. And most of the studies that I show, you know, it doesn't show a direct competition between Americans and immigrants that come in here, because due to the lack of education and language barrier, they come here and do manual jobs.
yeah.
Isn't there a risk for overpopulation with all these immigrants coming in, and a need for more services to more people that America can't provide?
I think overpopulation really shouldn't be a problem in the grand scheme of things, because these immigrants, if you think about it in a humane way, these immigrants are coming to the U.S. because they want a better life than what they were living before. So I mean, yes, we might run the risk of overpopulation, but at the same time, you got to be thinking that these people are coming from nothing, and they want to get at least a little bit of something, a little taste of their freedom if they come here. So I think it'd be morally incorrect to say that it's immigrants' faults that the overpopulation is like this. I think it'd be fine if they still keep coming because they need those resources.
I mean, immigration itself, it's a resource. You know, it serves as an engine. Yeah, it's an engine for economic growth for the United States. So
ever since we immigrated to the U.S., like the Europeans and all that, they've always had immigrants working for their labor, and Like they hired Chinese to construct some things in like San Francisco. They hired Mexican workers to work on farms. They had like the Native Americans, the African Americans. It's always been based off of immigrant labor, cheap labor.
Yeah, I know that idea of overpopulation is scary, and there are statistics that prove that it would be theoretically impossible, especially at the growth of immigrations. But it is a concern that a lot of people do have.
Yeah.
Another thing is the worry that people have that immigrants don't contribute to the economy because they're not paying taxes, they're not a part of the economic process or the political process.
I think that it's a little bit of baloney because everybody pays taxes in their own certain way. Like maybe it might not be like going to like a tax professional and getting like taxes taken out, but like regardless, if you go to like Walmart, you pay taxes right there. You're just like, if you're not paying like full taxes, you still are like participating in the economy and the economic flow. You supply work, and like the supply and demand of jobs like goes up and down. So with these immigrants, it kind of helps out the economy. I don't see it as a bad thing, and I'm sure many would agree with me as well.
Yeah, regardless, you're gonna pay taxes, and most of the jobs, when they do use documentation, they get taxes taken off, and they do not get returned.
And like of course there's going to be those over-the-counter jobs that like pay only in cash, and you don't get 100% or you don't get taxed like at all. But I mean, that's generalizing it. There obviously is more immigrants that do work or jobs that do take away taxes. It's not all of them, like people say.
And what about the people that come into the United States illegally? Do you think that these people should be deported since they're considered criminals at that point, since they're breaking the law to enter?
I mean, a lot of them have good intentions behind it. I know President Trump said that they're all rapists and criminals, and Mexico sends the worst. But I believe that some people do have good intentions. They want to escape the poverty, so they come here to work and send money over. So I think, and honestly, it's a big accomplishment. Just the fact that you hopped over the fence, and it's like because of how difficult it is. Yeah, I think that they shouldn't be rewarded, but they should be like granted to at least stay here for a little bit and work and maybe send them back. But like they could stay here and like be a functioning part of society.
Yeah, indeed. This immigrants, they are committing a crime by entering the United States illegally, but they're not coming here for that purpose. The reasons why they leave their nations is because they are escaping from that. If they were criminals that want to commit more crimes, they can easily do that over there. Over there, it's a lot more easier to get away with that than here. Over here in the United States, the law enforcement, it's a lot harder than it is in Central America.
Mm-hmm. And there's, what about the children who are brought over? There's cases where families will escape or will enter illegally, and they'll have children over here which are granted citizenship. A lot of people disagree with that.
I disagree with that, like thinking that it's wrong because you could come here illegally and have kids, and then you can maybe get deported. And I read a story about it that happened to some kid that him and his parents were here illegally, and the rest of the brothers and sisters were legal in the United States, so they would have been separated. And I think it's a bit cruel to the fact that you're separating, like, depending on the situation. It could be parents, grandparents, children. I don't think it is morally correct for people to be doing that, separating families like this, because you also got to be in the position of the kids, thinking about how fearful they're going to be of the parents. Like, how are they going to live on their own over there in the United States without the supervision of a parent?
Right. According to our 14th Amendment, every single person born here in the United States is a United States citizen. So those kids that are born here, they do and deserve the same opportunities that an American does. So why should it be any different for them?
Mm-hmm. Definitely. All right, I'm gonna finish off on one last question. Do you guys think that immigration policies should change?
I don't know if I would say they should change, because I'm sure there's going to be a ton of people that find loopholes around it, and even if they stay the way they are, the loopholes are already there. So it's a difficult situation to kind of put into like perspective.
It's hard to find a solution for this, and I indeed don't have it myself. But I mean, there is a couple things that we can do about it. You know, maybe I know there's already a process for immigrants to do and come into the United States, but maybe, I don't know, making that process a little easier.
Yeah.
That way we can start receiving the highly educated and the most qualified immigrants to come into the United States, instead of, you know, just having this organization that we have at the moment.
It takes a couple years, and it takes money as well that those immigrants might not have. And I think we need to be sympathetic for those people who are coming here, because they're working hard. They worked hard to come here. They might have came here by boat, swimming, jumping over a fence, coming here like illegally, being secret. And they worked hard to get here. And I think that we should be giving them a little bit of an opportunity to see if they can really function in society. Like, not right away give them citizenship, but see if they're willing to be in our society and accept our like laws and cultures. Then maybe they could be accepted.
Yeah, I think that's a good note to end on. We're gonna go ahead and end the show now. Thank you for listening. I'm your host, Josh.
And I'm Christian.
Kilmer.
All right, thanks for listening.